Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Allie, and this is my naked ass face. Today I am doing a big group tag, the makeup and books tag, and I'm collaborating with a bunch of people, and I will put a playlist down below of all of their videos, so definitely check it out. Basically what this tag is I'm doing my makeup, and with each product I use, there is a prompt about different books. So let's get started. Actually, I have a disclaimer that I am not very good at makeup, and most days I'm either not wearing it or just wearing mascara. I am going all out for the sake of this video, but don't make fun of me if I'm doing a bad job, okay? The first prompt is for primer. I don't use primer, but I do have this glow screen by Supergoop, and it's a shimmering SPF. So I'm gonna put it on. Oh, I feel so weird not being in front of like my mirror in the bathroom. The prompt is, sorry, I don't have my glasses on. Pick a book that left a lasting impression. For all of these questions, I'm gonna pick 4.5 or 5-star reads, I think for the most part. For this one, I'm gonna say The Host by Stephanie Meyer. This is the actual cover. I have not been able to ever get this out of my head. I definitely have reread it, but like the sci-fi elements in this story, off the charts. I remember when I first tried to read it in like the 9th grade, I was so confused about what was going on. But I tried again like 6 months later, and I fucking love this book. This is a cool book about how like these characters are in the future, and this one girl is basically a parasite, and she is embodying or in the body of a random woman. But usually during this process, the body's soul is kicked out. But in this instant, they are both living in this mind and body, and they sort of become friends. And I obviously am not going to give the plot away. Our main character, the parasite, learns more about the hosts. That's why it's called The Host. Her body and her family and the people in her life, and she shares memories, and you know, she kind of gets attached. I think the way that the parasite is implanted, and oh, it's just so cool. I honestly thought that this was going to be a series, and I'm still sad to this day it's not. Maybe it will be in the future, who knows. Okay, next is foundation. I don't use foundation, so on days when I need to cover up more, I just use a shitload of concealer and put it on as foundation, so that's what we're gonna do. For concealer and foundation, I use the NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer, and because my skin tone fluctuates all the time, I have a bunch of different shades and I kind of mix them up. This prompt is to pick your favorite first book in a series, and I hate to be that bitch who just won't shut up about Stephanie Meyer, but come on, this is iconic. I think Twilight is definitely the book I reread the most. There's just something so nostalgic about it. I think Edward has some real red flags, but like it's innocent because I was innocent when I read it when I was 12 years old. Plus now we have Midnight Sun, and it's like I can enjoy that story over and over and over again from different perspectives, and I just eat it up. Because I'm not done yet, let me try to fill in the silence. Other throwback first books of a series that I reread Shiver by Maggie Stiefvater. Even though I don't love this series, I don't think I ever finished it. That first book had me in a chokehold. I think it was a weird soulmate sort of feeling between the two characters. Plus I love anything to do with wolves. I will also randomly listen to Pretty Little Liars, even though it is not very well written. Don't judge me. I don't know what. It's the nostalgia, I suppose. Okay, that's good enough. Next is concealer, and I just take like whatever's left on my hand and use this tiny little brush, and I literally just like pretend I'm a canvas. This prompt is to pick a character you wish you could get rid of. I feel like most books, I don't ever feel like the character doesn't make sense enough that they could just be removed and the story would be the same. I'm sure I could think of something, but I'm gonna take this prompt to mean that I wanna kill this character, and I think it would be that bitch in this book. This is a Carrie retelling, and it's the mean girl that I'm talking about. I can't even remember her name. I probably should have prepared better. She's probably the most insufferable little bitch. I can't talk and do this at the same time. I think the fact that she's just racist and she goes to school in blackface should be enough of an example of why I wanna kill her. But she's just like this entitled little bitch, and I hate her, and I want her to go away. I don't think she got what she deserved if you read the book. I'm very curious to see what other people's answers are gonna be for this, because I feel like I'll probably end up agreeing. So definitely let me know in the comments what you think like a pointless character was. I get so lazy with concealer and foundation. I'm just like, oh, this is just too much work. So then I just kind of rub it in with my fingers and like call it a day. But I'm really trying here for you folks. Next is powder. I don't really use powder too often, but I actually do have some. It's so weird. I watched this video all about the dangers of talc in powder. And so I scoured the internet for a product that doesn't use talc, and I found this pressed powder by It Cosmetics. And it's so funny that I was so hellbent on getting this product that I don't use when like half of my other products probably use talc in it, but whatever. This is supposed to be translucent, but it's pretty white, which is why I don't use it too often. But I feel like it does do a good job if I am using concealer to like make sure it doesn't move throughout the day. The prompt for this is to pick my favorite last book in a series. This one was hard because I don't finish too many series, or I feel like books and series tend to get worse and worse, but I did find an answer, and that is the 5th book to the Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants series. This is called Sisterhood Everlasting, and a lot of people aren't aware that this is even a thing because it takes place after you think the series ends, when the girls are 30 years old. This is the most heartbreaking book ever that I don't think I've even reread it, maybe like once, because it just, this series as a whole is just gut punching, and so it's wholesome and it's just very emotional, and it's just like, damn, they killed me with this one, but it was so good. Next is contour. I'm taking that to mean like bronzer. Now bronzer, I have a story to tell you about this product here. I've never really used bronzer because anytime I've attempted it, it looks so bad on me because it's so orange and it just doesn't match my complexion. But earlier this year, I scoured the internet for like a cool toned bronzer, and I found this. What a cute little container. It's called Take Home the Bronze in shade Oliver. It doesn't look like it here, but it's sort of pink toned, and when I put it on, it hardly even looks like stuff went on my face, and maybe it doesn't, but it makes me feel prettier and girlier and more fun. The prompt is, what book surprised you with how much depth it had? I mean, Our Wives Under the Sea for multiple reasons. First of all, it's about these 2 wives, and one of them is literally going down and sinking to the bottom of the ocean in a submarine, so literally has depth. Guys, I cackled when I realized I could use that for this answer. But also, I was not aware of how much it was gonna both break my heart and fall in love with these characters. Like, I thought it was gonna be more horror. I guess it's horror leaning because the parts where the wife is sinking down to the bottom of the ocean is pretty thrilling. It is a slow-paced book though, but the other wives' perspective, we're learning more about this relationship, and it really was deep. Okay, next is blush. Right now, I've been using the Flora tint. This is like lip and cheek tint, and I absolutely love it. But I also will put on top of it, because I am a blush whore. I love blush. I think it's so transformative to your face. And I've always loved just the OG CoverGirl blush. This is in the shade Desert Rose. And the prompt is to pick a book with cringe-worthy romance. And I mean, I don't think of cringe without thinking of the love hypothesis. I said that weird, the love hypothesis. I think most people would agree with me on this. Cringe to me are when people in books or characters in books do things that aren't natural. And there are so many like forced proximity things that happen in this book that are so not natural, that people would not do. She's fake dating this guy, and just so her friend doesn't catch her in the lie, her friend is like, well, you would rub suntan lotion on your boyfriend's back, so why don't you do that to him? And then her friend's like, well, you would kiss your boyfriend, so why don't you kiss this guy? And then, well, you would sit on your professor/boyfriend's lap in a crowded lecture room, so why wouldn't you? No one's gonna fucking do that. The thing about that book though is I've remembered it because of those cringe moments, and it is now a 4-star read just because it's so iconic to me. And it's one of the only stories where the cringiness was so abhorrent, did I use that word correctly, in the beginning, that the book just got better and better and better, and I think that's impressive. A book that I've read more recently though, and that I gave 4 stars off the bat, was a Not So Meet Cute, because it was cringy. It didn't make any sense why they were fake dating. It honestly made 0 sense. It was so stupid. But for some reason, I ate it up, and I really like the tension between the 2 of them. So yeah, I also sometimes use blush as like bronzer. I don't actually use eyebrow stuff because my eyebrows are pretty bushy, and I like them. Plus, I don't like this prompt because I don't have an answer, so I'm not gonna do it. It's a book that you think everyone should read. I could never answer this question because everyone is so different, and I really just don't think there is a good answer for that from me. My brain won't let me come up with an answer. If you have one, please let me know down below. Okay, next is eyeshadow. The one eyeshadow I tend to use is this Revlon Color Stay Cream Shadow. I think it's in the shade Creme Brulee, but it actually doesn't say on here, so it's possible. Also, I just used my finger, so don't make fun of me. This is pick a book that has your favorite colors on the cover. Okay, let me do it before I get my fingers all grimy. I am one of those annoying bitches who is like, I don't have a favorite color. It changes all the time. So today I was thinking a combo of blue and red, and different shades too. Like, I don't love this blue, but the combination of these two colors together, plus her face. This is a book I read before BookTube and I was obsessed with it. I do have the ebook to Emma Klein's newest book, and I've been putting it off because I'm scared it won't like live up to my love for the girls. And then Ain't Burned All the Bright by Jason Reynolds, and there's artwork in here by Jason Griffin. Some more color. Oh! This is a very heavy book. I really hope editing me puts that in slow motion. I am so imprecise when it comes to eyeshadow. I literally just like, okay, that's good enough. I think next is eyeliner. I am so bad at eyeliner. I have tried the liquid line, especially. I've tried it like what seems like 1,000,000 times, and I just cannot do it. I think it's also the shape of my eyes. They kind of lean down, and it just looks so unnatural for me to try to wing it. But also, like, my steadiness can't do it. So if I ever attempt eyeliner, I'm using a shadow and just like blending it in. So that's what I'm gonna attempt today. It could go wrong and I'll have to start all over. Let me find a brush. I have a scary feeling that this brush was last used to try to get nail polish off, but I'm gonna go with it and use a dark brown shadow in this random Maybelline shadow palette. I love buying eyeliners or eyeshadows that are like this crazy green or blue color, and I'll never wear them. Okay, eyeliner. Pick a dark and mysterious book. I'm gonna go with Dark Places by Gillian Flynn, and I have no idea where I put this. I scoured my bookshelf like for an hour trying to find it. I just exaggerated so hard. I don't know why I did that. I probably looked for a good 5 minutes. What is wrong with me? This is a story of a lady. I don't think I'm gonna be able to talk and do this at the same time. She has to go back home because she's a journalist and there have been some murders, or maybe one murder, in her old town. And she has a turbulent relationship with her mother, and you're not really sure why. That's kind of like a mystery. She also has like a younger, either half sibling or full sibling. I think it's a half sibling. And so it's her trying to figure out more information about these murders. There's a detective there. It sounds like it could be a cozy mystery, but it's anything fucking but. This is dark. It's a dark story. There were lots of twists and turns. It was crazy, but it was also so beautifully written. If you've never read it, and you like thrillers, mysteries, but you also just like well-written books about, like, I don't know, struggling women, it's very good. I feel like where I mess up is when I try to match it, because it's just completely impossible. And then I make the mistake of being like, oh, it's a little thick here, I'll make it thicker here, and then I just get, and it's covering my whole fucking eyelid. Another good for dark and mysterious is Ninth House. I think the atmosphere is exactly what that says. Dark and mysterious. Is that what it is? I literally can't think because this does not match. I'm just gonna pat it with my finger and try to blur it a little bit. Maybe that'll make it look better. She says hopefully. Does that look good? Nope, that doesn't look good. Whatever. That's gonna be it for that. Then mascara. Okay, another story time. My all-time favorite mascara was the Telescopic by L'Oreal, and I literally only bought it because it looks like a telescope, but they stopped selling it. And I have 2 left that I have been putting off, and I love it especially because it has this tiny plastic applicator, and I am just obsessed with it. Lately, I've been using either the Better Than Sex mascara or Lash Paradise. I think this is also L'Oreal, but these have a very like clumpy, like fabric-y kind of applicator, and I'm just not used to it. Also, this is not worth $30. It's like, it's just whatever mascara. I think you're paying for the packaging. I mean, it's nice and it's heavy, but it's only heavy in the handle. Like, they put a weight in. I'm just gonna stop rambling. Right now, I'm gonna use the Lash Paradise by L'Oreal. I will say that one swipe of this, and it's like, honestly, so much volume. I just feel like it goes a little out of control to what I like, and I can't get as precise because the wand will get everywhere. The prompt is to pick a long book. Now, most of the long books that I have read and have rated highly are in a series. I don't think I can talk while I do this either. So I went on my Goodreads and I went to the longest book that wasn't a series, and I found Crime and Punishment by Dostoevsky, I forget his first name. I read this in my final year of high school for my AP Lit class, and it was quite the experience because I had refused to read it. I was like, I'll just read SparkNotes, I'll listen in class, I'll take notes, and I'll just find out like the themes, all that stuff. I don't want to read this stupid Russian novel. It got to be the night before we were gonna have like some exam where we'd answer a bunch of essays in class about it. I was absolutely stressing because I didn't know enough about this book, and I binged read it in one night. It's a 671 page Russian novel. I don't know what kind of superhuman strength that I got that night, but I actually had the time of my life reading this because it's about a man who kills someone and he goes crazy with the guilt, and it is told in a very feverish kind of way, and I was like sleep deprived and it was getting late into the night and I felt like I was going on this journey with him, and so weirdly it added to the experience of reading it, and it became one of my favorite books that I ever read for class or school, including like all of college. And I fucking aced every essay and every paper I wrote for this book. So it really worked out for me in the end. I think the hardest part about this book was just getting everyone's names right, because they all, Russian names have like nicknames and they use like a different ya like at the end. It's very confusing. Plus some of them sound so similar. You're honestly like, who the fuck is that? I thought that was that guy. And you gotta keep everything real straight, and it's hard to do, quite honestly. Okay, I might have overdid it with the mascara. I think mascara and blush, those are the two most transformative things about my face. Like I could have zero makeup on, put mascara on, and I will look more alive. Same with blush. Okay, next is highlighter. I used to drown my face in highlighter back in like 2016. I used the What's Up by Benefit. That was my absolute favorite. And I also used this weird like liquid one. And I can't remember who it was by because it was like a trial size that I had, but I did go out and try to purchase some. I don't know that I love them, but I'm gonna use them anyway. I got the Wet n Wild Hello Halo. It's liquid highlighter, which is what I thought I wanted, but it smells weird and it's really sticky. And then I got the e.l.f. Halo Glow. I clearly did not want to spend too much money on these products. I'm gonna go in with this one and see if it's okay. Nah, I don't like it. You know what? I'm just gonna use my eyeshadow and use it as like a highlighter. Okay, this prompt is pick a book that brightened your day. Aww. Recently, I just read The Princess and the Grilled Cheese Sandwich. I had to buy it because it brightened my day so much. I knew that if I was having a bad day, I could read this and honestly, it would fix it, I'm pretty sure. That book is just so wholesome, but because I don't want to talk about books that I've been talking about recently, I will say that Nothing to See Here, one of my all-time favorite books and one of my top 5 from last year. This is just the most wholesome shit you'll ever read. And it's weird because I had no idea it was going to be that wholesome. It's about this woman who agrees to nanny her ex-best friend's kids, and they had this weird, oh shit, I got eyeshadow from my liner down on my cheeks. We're gonna pretend that's not there. They have a weird condition where they literally burst into flame. And so she gets closer to these kids and it's just so wonderful. I feel like it's even more wholesome and like brightening of the day because she's kind of a grumpy character. And so to see her kind of get won over and create this close relationship with these kids is just so fucking beautiful. And last but not least is lipstick. I'm just gonna go in back with that Flora tint that I use for my blush and just put it on my lips. And the prompt is your favorite book kiss. I gotta say that kisses in books aren't really things that stand out to me anymore because like I read smut, so the kiss isn't really like a big deal. So I'm gonna take it back to some YA, actually to a series that I've already mentioned, The Sisterhood of the Traveling Pants. Lena and Kostos, that romance between the two of them, book 2 especially, like that shit is tragic. It's the best. It gives you the highest high and then the lowest fucking low. But their first kiss in here is so iconic. There's like all this drama that happens and I forget what kind of room he's in, but they're in like Greece during the summer. It's hot as hell. He's like welding or something in this like closed in area, and so she's sweaty and he's sweaty. And then they finally kiss and like, oh, that is one kiss from like my preteen and teen years that I distinctly remember and like get giddy over because it's just perfect. I'm just going on top of this with, it's a lip gloss, but also like a lip balm. Does it even work when I do this? I literally can't see a thing because I don't have my glasses on. This is the Tarte Maracuja Juicy Lip. I have a couple of the colors, but the clear one is great because it smells like coconut and I don't know, It looks like chapstick, but it stays on longer. I will say if I'm not going out, I will literally just put Carmex on. Like even over this, I fucking love Carmex. As for more adult books, like maybe my favorite smut, I don't know if that's inappropriate to say, but let's talk about it. Some things that come to mind are the Brown Sisters. I love Talia Hibbert's smut. I think it's written so well. This book, I haven't liked some of her other books, but like, damn, I love her smut. Also the Kiss Quotient, that was a dirty little book. And then also this random like Kindle Unlimited author, Danielle Laurie, she writes mafia romance. I really like her stuff, if you know what I mean. And that is the finished product. Ding, thumbnail. I don't know if I had my glasses on earlier for the thumbnail, so. That is how I do my makeup if I have a hot date or I want to feel like I'm having fun with my makeup. I'm probably immediately gonna go wash this off because I want to get comfy. But thank you very much for watching, and let me know any of your answers to the prompts that I said, especially the one about like what would be a book that you'd recommend to everyone, because how do you answer that? Again, I will link down the playlist below where a bunch of other people have also done this tag. It was really fun. We had like a DM and we were all talking about a process, or like some of the other people were also like, yeah, I don't know what I'm doing. That made me feel better. Maybe I should go out because like, I kind of look good. For people who are following me during the September series, I did miss yesterday's upload, but I'm feeling much better. I'm glad that I took that day off. Tomorrow though, it's back to vlogging. I actually took the day off of work and I plan on reading. So I will see you tomorrow. Goodbye.